Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Friday evening. Hope you've had a lovely week and you're looking forward to a nice weekend ahead. So lots of leg work in this practice today, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. It should open it out and stretch it. If you're a runner, might find this quite useful as a warm-up to do a kind of quicker version of it. So I know quite a few of you are runners, so hopefully you'll find it useful. So let us begin in a seated position this evening. So make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Zone in on your seat bones. Just rock from side to side on your seat bones. Noticing how the weight shifts. And then settle back in the center, becoming aware of your weight on each seat bone, trying to keep it balanced and even. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthen through the spine, and release your shoulders and your jaw. Let go of your day and everything that's going on in your world, and just bring yourself to the practice. And let your attention go to your breath as you inhale through your nose, filling your belly. Pause and then let a big sigh out through the mouth. And again, inhaling through the nose, filling the belly, and once more sighing. One more time. Allowing the sigh to release any tension from your body. Then allow the breath to return to your normal belly breathing that you do in your practice. Inhaling through the nose, filling the belly, pause. And then exhale through the nose, lengthening that exhale as much as is comfortable for you. Two more breaths here. And then gently opening the eyes, let's take this right leg, keeping the left leg crossed. Lift that right leg up and we're going to cradle it. So you've done this plenty of times before, wrapping your arm around your lower leg, holding on to the outside edge of your foot. And then just gently rocking the leg. And as you rock it, you'll feel it move through points that perhaps are a little bit challenging. And when you get to a point that's a little slightly challenging, let's just pause here and hold it, taking 3 breaths. And then lowering that foot down, let's just take that over to the other side. So raising up that left leg, again cradling it and beginning to just gently let it sway and rock. And you'll probably feel the stretch along the outside of the leg and down into the glute. And again, when you feel it get to a point that you go, okay, there's a little stretch, nothing too big. Remember, we always want to listen to our body and stay within the confines of what's right for us today. And then holding it here, let's take 3 more breaths. And then releasing that leg, let it come down, and let's just bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees hang down and holding onto the ankles, sitting up tall, encouraging the legs to move out so you start to feel a stretch on the inside of your thighs. And again, here, once you're in the position, let's return to the breath. Softening the shoulders, keeping that length in the spine. With each exhale, just see, can you drop those knees a little millimeter closer to the floor? And then keeping the right foot where it is, stretch that left leg out nice and long. If you're on a block, you might want to hop off it. And from here, we're going to fold forward over this leg. So you may want to bend the knee. As you lower down, let the lower rib cage come in contact with the thigh, and then you can begin to stretch it out a little bit more. Let me turn sideways so you can see from this angle. And again, as you work with your breath, inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, deepen into the fold. So you may feel a stretch along this outstretched leg, keeping that foot flexed, but you could also feel it on the bent leg, particularly around the hip area, as it just opens you out a little bit. 2 more breaths here. And then making your way back up to sit, let's change it over to the other side. So again, we've got this left leg, so your left foot is up against that right thigh, flexing the right foot, and bend the knee if you wish as you fold forward, drawing the head towards the knee. As you inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, deepen into the fold. Two more breaths here. And making your way back up to sit. Let's now open those legs out nice and wide. And we're going to start off folding towards this right leg. So just turn the belly button towards the leg and make your way down. Again, bend the knee if you find it too much of a stretch. You will be feeling this, I'm sure, on the insides of your thighs and possibly along the calf, keeping those feet flexed. Two more breaths here. Each breath just helping you to increase the fold a little more. And then making your way up. Let's take that to the other side. So remember, rotate the spine first and then fold forward, hinging at that hip. One more breath here. And then making your way back up. Let's swing around and come onto our belly. Folding your arms, let your head rest on your forearms for a nice crocodile pose, a very gentle little back bend. And again, taking 3 breaths here. And then bringing the arms down by your side, let your forehead come down onto the mat, and we're going to just raise up our legs. So lifting those legs up away from the floor. If you can, get your knee up as well. And let's take 3 breaths here. And lowering the legs down, bring those hands either side of the chest and push up to your tabletop. So remember having those knees underneath your hips. Because we're going to go up into a downward dog, have your hands just a little bit in front of your wrists, a little in front of your shoulders, curling those toes. Slowly make your way up into your downward dog, pedaling your way in there and really feeling that length in your spine. So pushing those hips back as far back as they can go. Let the gaze go to the belly button. Keep the shoulders soft and away from the ears. And when you're ready, come to your point of stillness and play around in downward dog. So if you feel that your spine isn't as long and as straight as it could be, see what happens if you shorten your stance, bring your feet in a little bit closer, maybe bend the knees or take the heels up off the ground, and you might feel that actually just allows you to stretch the spine out a little bit more. So work very much with your body and what works best for your body to get the most out of this pose. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then stretch the right leg up and bend the knee. So you're on 3 legs. And just lift that knee up so your hips are stacked on top of each other and you look out under your armpit. As we take 3 breaths here. Level up the hips once again and step that right leg through, help it along the way as much as you need to, and let's drop that back knee down onto the mat. So keeping the knee over the ankle, bring your hands inside the foot, just heel toe that foot out to the edge of your mat. We're going to come into a lizard pose, so you're well familiar with this. We're going to come down onto your forearms, one or both forearms. And if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more in this pose, you can raise that knee up off the mat. It's fine for your foot to be slightly lifted and your knee to be pointed out if you are to be falling out if you wish. Let's take 3 breaths here. Great stretch for the leg. And then bring that knee down. Come up onto your hands. Keeping this knee bent and over the ankle, we're going to just step that back foot up. So your feet are hip width apart. That back foot fully on the mat. It can be turned slightly outwards if that's more comfortable for you. And we'll come into a reverse triangle here. So keep the left hand on the mat. It doesn't have to be fully down. It can be on your fingers. And raise that right arm up, following it with your gaze. Taking 3 breaths here. And then, if your body is willing, stretch that front leg. Begin to open it up a little bit. Keeping the gaze up towards the ceiling. And bend that knee once more. Bring the right hand down onto the mat. Now we're going to step this left foot across so that your heels are in a straight line with each other, and take this into a triangle on to a normal triangle. So keeping the right hand maybe just pointing down, raise the left hand up. Now we've got a nice straight line going all the way down our body. And again, if you like, you can begin to open out that front leg as we take 3 breaths here, keeping that gaze and chest looking upwards. So we've got a lovely straight line from the tips of our fingers from one end to the other. And let's bring that hand down. Bring both hands onto the mat, swivel on that back foot and step back into your downward dog for 3 breaths. And then with the left leg, raising it up, bend the knee and stack the hips on top of each other, looking out under your armpit. As again, we take 3 breaths here. Level up the hips once again and step that left leg through. Letting the right leg come back, stretch out long, bringing down the knee. And once again, making your way down onto your forearms. Let that knee and foot fall out if you wish. And if you want to take it a little further, curl those back toes and lift the knee up off the mat. Let's take 3 breaths here in this lizard pose. And bringing that right knee down, open out the foot, making your way up, and we're going to hop that right foot forward. Again, remember keeping it hip width or a little wider apart, and that front knee bent over the ankle. Let's keep the right hand down and raise the left hand up for our reverse triangle. Gazing at the ceiling. And if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more for your next 3 breaths, just bring some straightness into that front leg. Then drawing the hand down, bend that knee once more. We're stepping this right foot across so our hips are in line with each other. And with that left hand either just pointing down towards the floor or touching it, draw the right hand up for your triangle on this side. And again, if you like to challenge yourself, you can bring some straightness into that front leg. It's fine to have your body up a little bit higher. You don't have to have the hand all the way down onto the floor. But try as much as possible to have your arms in a nice straight line from the tip of your right fingers to the tip of your left fingers. One more breath here. And then drawing the hand down, bend that front knee, and let's once again swivel on the back leg and step back into our downward dog. Taking 3 breaths here. And walking the feet up to meet the hands, bend the knees and come up to stand. And as you're standing here, having those feet hip width apart, we're just going to hinge at the hips to come to the halfway point. So we've got a nice level spine. And then draw those arms out into a T. Taking 3 breaths here. Let the core help you. Remember, on your exhale, draw up your pelvic floor, belly button in and up. Keeping the gaze on the mat so that spine stays in a straight line all the way up past your neck. Then letting your hands come down towards the floor, heel toe those feet together, toes together, heels a little bit apart, and come into a forward fold here. Again, let the breath help you to deepen this fold. Inhale, feel that spine lengthen. Exhale, just deepen the fold. Two more breaths here. Then keeping the feet as they are, bend the knees, let the hips sink down. Try to keep those knees behind the toes and draw the arms up, keeping the legs as they are, draw the arms up and the torso up to come into a chair pose for 3 breaths. Then straightening on up to stand. Draw those hands onto the hips, to the back of the pelvis. Drawing those elbows back. And let's take a back bend here. So let the gaze and the chest look up at the ceiling. Just a nice little counter bend after all that forward folding. One more breath. And coming back to upright from here, folding at the hips to come into a forward fold, and then making your way down onto your mat. Swing around to come onto your back. Having those knees bent, hug them into your chest and take a little bit of movement here. And then coming to stillness. Let your feet come down onto the mat and your legs come out long, palms facing upwards as you soften the body and just release and let go. And before we go into our final relaxation and meditation, I just want to thank you very much for joining me this evening in this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to let us know when you complete a practice. Give us a thumbs up or a like or whatever. There's lots of you doing practices this month, which is fantastic to see. So keep up the good work. And of course, everyone who does 4 or more practices gets onto our roll of honor. But for now, it's time to give yourself a little reward for all of that work with a nice relaxation. Letting go your feet and your legs. Letting go your glutes and pelvis. The whole back of your body and shoulders. Front of your body and chest. Letting go your arms and your hands, your head, your face, jaw and chin. The whole of your body, just let it go. And take a little moment of gratitude here. Gratitude to yourself and for all that's good in your life today. And then let your attention go to your breath as you inhale through your nose into your belly, pause, and then exhale. And let your focus stay with your breath for a few minutes.